The following is a production of DallasCowboys.com and the Dallas Cowboys Football Club.
How about them Cowboys?
Yeah!
Go Cowboys!
This is Girls Talk, Boys Talk, presented by Invisalign, trusted by over 500 NFL players for their winning smiles. And broadcasting live from Dallas Cowboys World Headquarters at the Star. Now, your host, Nicole Hutchison.
Hello, welcome into Girls Talk, Boys Talk, presented by Invisalign here in the SWBC studio. I'm Nicole Hutchison alongside Aisha Morrison, Jess Navarez, and Brianna Aldridge. We got some good news, ladies. What's up?
How y'all about to faint?
Hey, about to faint?
About to faint.
Okay, see,
I'm in such a good mood.
Like,
What a day. What a great day.
This is a good start.
It is.
Good start.
It is.
Cowboys have signed, extended Osa Odighizuwa to a 4-year, $80 million deal that is 52 guaranteed. That means $20 million per year. My math ain't that great, but I know I can count some money.
He was
How y'all
worth every penny.
Worth every penny.
Worth every penny.
Worth every penny of it. I mean, just the first reactions from you ladies when you guys saw the news.
Beaming, but not surprised. To be honest, I'm glad he got his money here, but I'm interested to see. I'm interested to kind of poke around and hear what other suitors there could have been for him. But like we had talked about, he wanted to stay in Dallas. We knew that, and I'm really glad that he has a long tenure here with the Cowboys. Good locker room guy, great lead by example guy, great on the field production, draft and develop has been there. Worth every dang penny, in my opinion. I can Odighizuwa it 100%.
That was good. That was good, girl.
I gotta give it to her.
You gotta give it to her.
Yeah.
I'm in a great mood today.
What you got, Bree?
I'm proud of the Cowboys for getting this done because I was getting scared. We talked about it last week, the franchise tag rumors, and I remember I told you guys I didn't like it.
I hate franchise tags.
I didn't like it. Yeah, it's basically we want you, but we don't know how to keep you, and we're stalling until literally July, and then that's when it would have really put the pressure on. But why? I think this is a good sign because now it means let's focus on Micah Parsons. Let's get that done next, and I think it shows that they can, what we've been talking about, they can develop and they can retain. And I think it's a good step in the right direction. That's why there's so much positivity at this table because, again, now you can start to work around the other pieces and hopefully fast. But what is it, 4 p.m. deadline today to make that choice? So it's right on target, but they got it done. They got it done.
I got to defend the Cowboys, though, on that just a little bit because there apparently were some other outside factors that were kind of playing into the whole deal being done and then the Cowboys having to decide that, okay, we're going to possibly put him franchise tag Osa. So I do have to not going to be say exactly what happened, but there were some outside factors on why this whole deal had been a little bit delayed. But Aisha, my bad.
You're fine. That's what. Come on, reporter. Come on. What you here for? I agree with you ladies. I think the deal was necessary, and then given people would consider it a team-friendly deal, but it's really what he deserves. And that 14. I think it's 14th or 15th. It'll make him the 14th or 15th highest-paid defensive tackle in the NFL, and I think that that's fair given where he is. Obviously, we got to see an uptick in his play towards the latter part of the season, and I think if that is Osa, then you're getting a hell of a good player. Furthermore, when you look within Eberflus' system and the way that he likes to play football, it is very contingent on his front four being strong and being able to win in one-on-one situations and not having to come with a lot of blitzes and things like that. And Osa Odighizuwa, as we know, is a gentleman that has pass rush ability. I think he's a stabilizer, so I'm happy. But this also allows you to go into the draft, into free agency and things like that. Again, I saw Calvin Watkins tweet, hey, this is not going to stop Dallas from attacking the DT position in free agency and draft, and thank God. Have mercy. I would hope not. but you have a foundational piece. He's earned this contract. And I'm looking forward to him being here, in the future. So I thought it was a smart move. And as we're going to talk about, it frees up some of your finances to do some of the other things as well. The Cowboys seem like they're cooking a little bit right now.
Ooh, let them cook.
I don't know what to say. I don't know.
Let them cook.
Now listen, I don't know. Listen, I don't know if it's the slow cooker. I don't know if it's the crock pot.
They're cooking.
As
or
long
if
as they
we
cook.
talking about
That part.
Long
air
as they
fry,
cook.
we air frying stuff.
As
Which one's
long
better?
as they cook, babes.
fry.
I don't
Air fryer,
cook, so I don't know.
100% air
It depends
fryer.
on what's necessary.
Oh, dang.
The air fryer.
You can cook a lot of stuff in the air fryer quick, but sometimes it needs to be in the crock pot.
Well, it depends what you're making.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So we trying to make
We need
championships.
air
so
fryers.
regular-
Well, girl,
So what are you using to now cook if you're the Cowboys?
money.
I'm still trying to decide. I don't know what
Like, what type of cooker are y'all using?
I
don't
thought
know
we were
what
talking
It depends
My
on
bad.
the player.
I'm sorry.
It depends on the player.
Okay.
If they need to simmer in a better deal that's worth their time and money, they need to simmer. However, the Osa deal is like an air fryer deal. Like
you
you
need
had
it
to set
quick.
it a little bit longer than you normally would in the air fryer, but like you got it done.
they mixing up a lot of different.
They're
techniques
using the whole
right now.
kitchen to cook.
Yeah, all right.
Okay.
I'm about to say,
Yeah.
y'all talking in a different language right now.
I'm sorry, I shouldn't have took it there.
My
It's
bad.
I'm hungry
fine.
too, so like
I
I'm
really only
thinking-
make soups. You're
all
asking
good.
the wrong person.
All right, let's go ahead and take a listen to what Osa Odighizuwa had to say. Patrick and I had a chance to hear what he had to say about this deal, and go ahead and take it away, Jazzy.
Cornerstone player by this franchise. I feel like it just speaks to the hard work that's paid off, consistently working in, day out, and just making those deposits finally paying off. I can now look at my mom and be like, you never have to work again, and that's really what this has all been about, so being able to do that. It's still kind of registering, you know what I mean? It doesn't even feel real at this point. So, I'm just kind of soaking it in.
What's the first thing that came to mind when you got the call that done deal? You're going to be with the Cowboys another 4 years, $80 million.
It's awesome. You know what I mean? I love Dallas, love playing for this organization, love being a Cowboy. So the fact that I get to do it for another 4 years, get very, very large pay increase to do it. It's not that I wasn't already happy doing the work, but just get to have an even bigger smile on my face when I come in the building.
What's the first thing you're going to do now that you got this deal, son? You want a Disney World?
He's like, no judgment.
Yeah, don't judge me, but I'm actually going to go work out later today.
One last question. Now, having been made a cornerstone player in this franchise, with Matt Eberflus coming back into the building, but as a defensive coordinator role, the way he runs schemes, his three-tech, he himself, Eberflus, has said the three-tech is the engine that drives his defense. What does that mean for you going forward with Eberflus, and just what can this defense be in 2025, coming off of an injury-ravaged 2024?
I think the injuries are always there. There's always a risk of injury, but just playing in this defense, it's always fun to play in a defense that emphasizes the D-line, especially as a D-lineman in a three-tech, one that I feel like myself being versatile, having many skill sets. So playing for a coach that recognizes that and is trying to, put that on display and make that the main thing and just kind of use that to the full potential is going to be a lot of fun.
I know I'm able. One question, just real fast. I know I'm able to get you tomorrow, but I do want to ask. This is now your third DC in 3 years. What's the challenge for you in just learning new systems every year?
I feel like it's going to be good. Just given what Shadi has said, you know what I mean? I like the way he thinks, and I'm getting the same vibe from Coach Flus. They're going to put us into positions to do what we do well. So, learning the scheme, stuff like that, that's not something that I really struggle with. I feel like I do a good job of getting my plays down very quickly. Not a guy that has a lot of mental errors. So just, learning that and then finding my ways and my opportunities to make plays within that is going to be a lot of fun.
It's going to be a lot of fun seeing Osa for the next 4 years here.
Hi, Shayla.
I'm crying. But just, what was the best takeaway from just hearing what he had to say, ladies?
Well, first of all, don't let him fool you. That man's a full-on Disney adult. Don't let him fool you.
Yeah, he's a
Disney
good kid.
adult. Disney adult. But you know what? Like, aside from everything he said about his mom, like, we could go on and on about that. But something that stood out to me, Matt Eberflus really just started. He just called him Coach Flus. I don't know if
know,
anybody
it's
else caught on to that. I was
heard
like,
it.
ooh, we
Aw.
got a good little spark between your DT and your DC. And to me, that should get you excited. And for me, when I hear Osa talk about how mental mistakes aren't really a thing for him and he picks up on schemes well, he's shown that. And I think the way Osa attacks this game is so mentally tough that he really does hone in on things. I think in a way that benefits him on the field mentally, and how he absorbs information is definitely something that I wish I could do, because the way his brain works, I'm like, dang, that's crazy. But yeah, the Coach Flus, that I was like, oh, all right, good. We're already in conversations, and that means good things ahead, hopefully.
Yeah, it's like a perfect, I don't want to say a storybook ending because he's got 4 years here to go, but this is like the perfect full circle moment for him, the franchise, because you have to think about it. Like, I talk to analysts all year round. Osa's not the guy that everyone's talking about because you have Micah Parsons right there. So I feel like this is just like a surreal moment because he's put in the work, right? He's coming off his best season. He deserves this money, like everyone is saying. And it's noticed and recognized, and there's a lot of changes that are coming into this. So like Jess's point, to hear him confident in not only his new DC, but his new head coach, this is perfect. This is in if it works out, right? Because now it's the same thing, the pressure, we saw it. I mean, Dak has always had the pressure, but when you pay CD and you're talking about, okay, they need a number 2, well, a lot of people are like, well, you just made CD one of the highest paid players for his respective position. So no, he's got to figure it out. He's got to hold up that end. I think the same pressure is on Dak, and I think a lot of this pressure will now go on Osa. Like, okay, you just paid this man, what is it, 50 what guaranteed that he's getting now?
It's 2.
Yeah. So it's gonna require a little more pressure. So I'm very interested to see how he steps up to it. And like he says, he feels like he has the coaches who are going to utilize what he does best. So I'm very excited for him, and it's like a little goosebump moment.
Yeah, I agree. A couple of the things he said is out. First, talking about his mom, and I think we hear players say this all the time, but to me, it resonates because it is a reminder of what they do it for. And a lot of the time, we talk about it. This league is short for a lot of guys, and a lot of guys don't see a second contract. And for him to get to that point and obviously feel some weight taken off of him to do some of the things that he's desired to do in his life for his family is something that I cherish as well. But also too, I think you asked Nicole in regard to the changes in the system and the challenges in having to install a new system. Now, the thing about Eberflus's system, and I think this is why the guys aren't as like, when you ask them, I think this isn't the first time we've heard a player talk about it, and they're just like, yeah, because Eberflus's system and the way that he does things has been around for a while. Like I said, it's not super flashy and fancy and things like that. He just allows guys to be themselves, like they mentioned, but also too, you just go win out there, So to me, I think that the system transition may be a little, and I could be guessing, but that's just me. It may be a little smoother than what it was with Zimmer, because Zimmer's system and the way he runs things is very exotic, very a lot of disguising and things like that. That's not Eberflus's vibe, even though I know he is going to get busy with Micah and Osa and kind of moving them around. So I'm not as worried about them retaining what this new system's going to be like. I'm not as worried as I think I was before.
Do you also feel like it's less of a, I want to say, culture shock, with lack of a better term, than it was from Dan Quinn to Mike Zimmer last year?
Yeah, I mean, I would say I don't know much about Eberflus's temperament. I don't know if you ladies have heard.
He seems fine to me. Like, he seems very,
like he's just a chill guy.
like a Dan. He gives me Dan Quinn vibes with the guys.
Yeah.
Honestly.
Yeah, no, I mean, I don't think it is for them because, like I said, they can look within other schemes in the NFL and see some of what he does. I think that Zimmer was very specific to like what his tools he had were like and how to navigate them. And I think we started to see that later in the season, just kind of how he was putting guys together and finding like different lineups and rotations. But I think it's, you went up front. win up front with 4, and life's going to be easier in general for you. And that's kind of what Eberflus stands by. So
I also got some other roster news. The Cowboys are retaining C.J. Goodwin. He's agreed to terms and will return on a 1-year deal. So that is also some news.
That's a good win.
I'm sorry.
Bro, like she says it and then you don't catch it till you're like,
yeah, think about it.
Another year of good win puns. My favorite.
I'm crying.
So
All right,
excited.
ladies, we're going to take our first break. And up next, we're going to talk about the other news around the NFL and how that could possibly impact the Dallas Cowboys. All right, we'll be right back with more Girls Talk, Boys Talk.
How do you tell the world about all the great gifts in the Yeti store? Let her rip, Troy.
All right, folks, let's get started with the Yeti French Press. Enjoy coffee that stays hot for hours in a French press. 34 ounce for you, 6'4" for the cruise. The Yeti French Press. Up next, waterproof bags. Bags waterproof. Submersible waterproof doubles. Waterproof backpacks. World's mostly water, so get a waterproof Yeti bag. Do I smell something cooking? Oh, new cast iron skillets made to be passed down like Mama's recipes. Take a steak, cornbread, cobbler's pot pie, and potatoes and next level with 3 sizes of Yeti cast iron skillets.
Gear, gifts, and product experts. Visit the Yeti store on McKinney Street and at South Lake Town Square today.
Discover Aiden, the official luggage partner of the Dallas Cowboys and Dallas Cowboys cheerleaders. Known for top-tier engineering and craftsmanship, Aiden offers more than just bags. Originating from Australia and designed in New York, it merges fashion, design, and culture. Used by Dallas Cowboys players, staff, and the entire organization, Aiden provides style and functionality for all travelers. Visit AidenTheBrand.com and use code AidenXCowboys for 25% off your purchase. Travel like your favorite stars with Aiden.
When you're on the field, you know what it takes to lead your team and play with confidence. But that confidence shouldn't just stop at game time. It should follow you off the field, too. Join over 500 NFL players who trust Invisalign, the #1 doctor-recommended clear aligner brand. Do it for confidence on and off the field. Do it for you. Ready to take the first step towards a smile you'll love? Don't wait. Visit Invisalign.com/NFL and find a doctor near you today. Transform your smile and take your confidence to the next level, both on the field and off.
Cowboys fans, when it comes to navigating the ever-changing world of tax, your business needs a partner it can trust to tackle even your biggest tax challenges. Ryan is the largest firm in the world dedicated exclusively to business taxes. Our team of tax professionals has local expertise in all areas of tax and can help you uncover savings opportunities you didn't know you had. Learn more about how Ryan can improve your overall corporate tax performance by visiting Ryan.com. Ryan, the official tax partner of the Dallas Cowboys.
Cowboys Nation, Dallas Cowboys United, presented by Globe Life, is now exclusively in the Dallas Cowboys app. Join the official fan club today to receive access to all of the new Cowboys drops featuring team news and pre-sale access and fan and kid of the game. That sounds cool. Download the app now to join. How do you be fan of the game? I guess I have to download.
Yeah, I will say
Right.
that's what you got to do. The
heard?
instructions are right there.
I'm only asking. I'm only asking because I know some people that would love that, aka my parents.
Not the parent.
Girl, bye.
Kid of the game. Sometimes I don't know. We'll see.
You know what else some people love or may not love? I don't know if the Cowboys will love this, but
I love the transition. Here it comes.
it's great. I know. It was a question for real.
What do they
Y'all
love?
want to know the answer?
Yes.
All right. Deebo Samuel's joining Washington.
Do
Yeah, I
they
don't
love
think
that?
I don't
Do
think
they
you'd love
love
that,
that?
though. Yeah, they don't love that.
They could.
I don't know. Depends. But also Saquon Barkley signed to he got a 2-year, $41 million contract extension with the Eagles. Now that deal makes Barkley the NFL's first $20 million plus per year running back. Can we now talk about how much that is going to probably affect what Rico Dowdle wants if he wants to resign here in Dallas? What y'all think?
Yeah. I mean, I am glad that running back market just got upped, though. Like
Yeah, that
that,
it's
it's
gone
that
back
reset
up
the
again.
market
Yeah.
for the running back, so that does work in any running back's favor right now, including Rico. What I do think is, I think when we now when we think of free agency, we're like, oh, Dan Quinn's gonna be at it again. Dan Quinn doesn't let a moment pass without inquiring, which is a great reputation to have, right? So automatically you think, oh, you know, all of the laundry list of free agents could very well jump ship, go to Washington, and they know what they're getting in a Dan Quinn. My mind kind of goes there for Rico, but now, if you want a little positive spin, maybe with Debo going to Washington, that gives the Cowboys maybe a one-up they might not have had if they didn't retain him in free agency, to maybe have a better chance of retaining Rico, if that's what they want to do. That's the only. I mean, really, you just don't know yet. You just don't know. The running back room is such a question mark. You just don't know.
Yeah, I think it's gonna be interesting because, I mean, the running back position overall, like, it's just so. It's really not fair because their bodies are getting worked, in my opinion, the hardest, and their careers are the shortest, and they don't get paid as much. That's why Mr. James Cook, who just put up franchise rushing numbers for Buffalo, is saying, I want $15 million, and everyone was like, you're insane. But any other player, if that was a wide receiver, it's a totally different ballgame. So in that aspect, but I think Rico, I'm not sure who he's represented by, but I think you still have to be realistic on the type of season he had. Although for him, it's coming off a career best. I don't think we could sit here and compare him to Saquon. Barkley.
That's facts.
You know? And I think I'm just saying that because I think the number game is going to be interesting on what he's asked. And he should stand on business on his own. I don't think the Cowboys personally respected him as a running back, especially towards the beginning of that season. He really had to prove it. And I think I said it earlier before when we first got together that I think he held his own in a respectable manner. I don't think everyone in this league, I think, have a tendency to go to social media and kind of make a stir or won't talk to the media after, hearing running back by committee when you're clearly the running back one in that room at that time has to be frustrating. And I think he handled it very well. He was always very respectful, even after a tough loss or he didn't get the ball as much as he wanted. It was just like, I'm just going to keep proving myself that I'm running back one. I'm just going to keep coming back. And that's what he did. And that's how he ended. But again, if I'm the Cowboys, I'm going to try to keep him because I think the loyalty there, and that's the type of player you want in your locker room, hands down.
Yeah, I share the sentiment on most guys in the league aren't Saquon. So
that's facts.
Yeah, I mean, it's just the reality.
That is real. It is, yeah.
He is a difference-making running back. But also, too, another thing that's going to affect the market is that even though Saquon got that money and other people might be asking for some more money, this is one of the best running back draft classes we have seen in a long time. So if you think people ain't going to go cheap, young, just as explosive, if not more explosive, obviously, too, there is an uptick in running backs having receiver-type capabilities. If you don't have that, it's almost like a knock on your play. So for me, I really feel for the market, the running backs that are here in the NFL right now, because it is very hard to think that teams are not going to pick up a rookie because you can maybe get one into the 4th, 5th round in this draft and be like, oh, he can play. Now, it gets different like towards like the start of the 4th, I would say, but you might look up and get a guy in the 5th that is a good player. So with that being said, Saquon. The running backs can ask for their money, they deserve it. And I think Rico, like you ladies were saying, I think Rico being here, you need foundational pieces. You need stabilizers. You need guys to be able to show some of these young guys around and stuff. So I would like for him to be here. But the Cowboys also need to be trying to pick up a running back in this draft class as well.
What do you think the next step is for Dallas? Of course, we're seeing the different reports of C.J. Goodwin. Of course, we can expect some other special teams guys to have a deal done as well soon. But as far as the foundational pieces, Aisha, like you were mentioning, who do you feel like should be next outside of Micah Parsons? That's a given. That's a given. Sorry, my bad.
Micah,
After Micah Parsons, who should be next?
Well, with them freeing up some of the kizash they have right now, it should. I saw David Moore allude to why y'all laugh? Sorry.
Because we were just thinking about the same thing. My bad.
Yeah.
It should allow you to retain guys like a Jordan Lewis if you want to.
Yeah.
Because again, your cornerback room.
Yeah.
But it's literally Will Smith in that room right now, like standing That's the end of
Well,
Fresh Prince of
and-
Bel Air.
But coming off of injuries as well.
Yes, tracking.
Repetitive.
So,
Yes.
Everybody in that room.
So for that, I think you would sign him back. I don't know what's gonna happen with the defensive end room because Lord have mercy.
Yeah.
If I'm looking at it from what I think it is right now set in stone. Micah, Marshawn Nealon, Osa Odighizuwa,
Period.
and Mazi.
Yeah.
Sorry, Mazi.
Yeah.
And Mazi. So and that's it. You don't got no rotation.
Yeah.
You ain't got none of that right now, and these guys' legs get heavy. So they also need to be looking at like defensive end and what's going to happen
Yeah.
there. So yeah,
It's a lot to unpack.
yeah, it is a lot, but you can. I think they can attack it. I think they can do what they need to do. To at least push the team forward, or to at least just stabilize the team. Like a few weeks ago, we were in a panic because it's like, what's happening right now? Like we have no idea what this roster is going to look like. Now with some of these guys being signed back, it's like, okay, well we can stamp
Start
that.
to-
We can stamp
yeah.
that, and you can start feeling. And once you get the foundational places, you can start looking at, okay, I need a role player here, or I need this guy here, and then a free agency. When does free agency start? It's around the corner.
It's coming soon.
It's around the corner. So going into the draft, not having to push for a need and things like that is the best thing to do. And this does feel like
Yeah.
they're trying to do that. And here's a cookie for it.
Yeah. I feel it.
Well,
The cookies from the airplane.
oh, those are good.
Christie's cookies.
Yeah.
The cookies.
That's insane.
The cookies she could be getting.
Yeah.
All right, y'all. Vinny.
No, you're fine. It's all right. Deebo Samuel off to Washington, and that was for a 5th round pick, ladies.
Bye.
5th round pick.
Dan Quinn wastes
Cowboys
no
fans
time.
are sick.
5th round pick.
Cliff Kingsbury's going to have a field day.
You know,
Yeah, Jaden Daniels gonna have a field day as well. Sorry.
I
was
don't want to
gonna
see anyone
say.
have a field day in
yeah.
this division.
I'm
It's not the
enough.
Cowboys.
I've been sick seeing everybody else have a field day. So just keep on this trajectory of doing things at the right time with the right people, so you can have yourself a field day. Like I am glad that this happened now with Osa and then CJ Goodwin and all the pieces seem to be falling in place to get the right players like we're talking about. But they have to continue to do that with retaining, but also adding additions that make sense in the places you're going to be able to need plug and play that you don't really necessarily have time to draft and develop. So
True.
cool, but like let's keep it going.
Yeah.
Yeah, don't slow down.
Yeah. Here's your division.
Full pedal.
Your division is continuing to get better. And the thing about Debo, then bringing Debo in, when you look at Washington and you look at when they started to struggle, is when Terry McLaurin seemed like he was like the piece. Because obviously they sent Jahan Dotson over to Philly, and he now has a ring, and I just want to throw up. But they needed another receiving option. They needed another, and they needed more
Sounds
from
familiar.
and they need more from their run game. And I think that they will get a mixture of both with Debo. Obviously, he's dealt with some injuries this last couple of years or whatever. So I think a fresh start would be good for him as well. But yeah, they're addressing something that they saw hampered their offensive production. And Debo was available. So go get it. Do what you got to do, I guess.
And I know Debo's not in his
I got an attitude.
prime.
Okay.
But how it's just what they got, what they gave up to get it was, and I just want like, is there a class where like the Cowboys can figure out how they get a little splash with a 5th round pick, a later pick? Because this 4th round game,
I mean,
is crazy
I was gonna
work.
say
I just think it's the approach
they were
they
playing
have.
with the 4th round.
They have,
what happened?
they've expressed multiple times that they don't call people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That they wait for people to call.
That's never.
So
Okay.
if that's your mentality, that's not how football work like that.
Yeah.
Like you need to be the aggressor sometimes. It is up to you, because I know the area scouts and stuff are bringing players to them like, hey, this guy's on the practice squad. Hey, this guy got a little something going on over there. You might want to go scoop him up. Like I know the
Well.
scouts are doing their job. It's like, what do you? So for them, they may have to change their approach.
And you know what I'm interested to see as well? We're talking in terms of free agency, how the UFL kind of plays into that as well, and how not having a Bones Fossil eye could also impact that. Because when you have a Bones Fossil hand selecting a Kevontae Turpin and a Brandon Aubrey, like that's kind of, I know that's not his key focus is scouting, but he got you two literal gems in the rough.
Yeah, he has
so
an eye for talent.
I'm
clearly.
interested to see, you know, kind of that aspect as well. And if the Cowboys continue that route with looking in kind of areas that maybe are overlooked sometimes.
What's your-
I'm hyped up to see free agency. Like, they got me thinking they gonna do a lot.
They gonna do little something.
Temper those
Did y'all see the thing I
expectations
know?
just a little bit.
Let me show y'all because I gotta show y'all.
Because normally when free agency comes around, I dread it.
Yeah.
I dread it because I just be like, ain't nothing gonna happen.
I don't want to see former high draft picks from other teams that didn't work and try to make it work here.
Yeah.
That's what I don't want to see. I'm scared I'm gonna see it, but that's what I hope not. Like, there's so much opportunity, and they're restructuring, and they're going to continue. So at least like today was a big step. So I don't want to get greedy. Today was a big step, and now let's see what else that they can gather up in free agency, because there are some guys that are available that I think could really help.
Yeah. They're
cautiously optimistic.
That part. All right, we're going to take our second break. We'll be right back with more Cowboys.
Writes it down.
Girls Talk, Boys Talk, presented by Invisalign.
Cautiously.
Discover Aiden, the official luggage partner of the Dallas Cowboys and Dallas Cowboys cheerleaders. Known for top-tier engineering and craftsmanship, Aiden offers more than just bags. Originating from Australia and designed in New York, it merges fashion, design, and culture. Used by Dallas Cowboys players, staff, and the entire organization, Aiden provides style and functionality for all travelers. Visit AidenTheBrand.com and use code AidenXCowboys for 25% off your purchase. Travel like your favorite stars with Aiden.
When you're on the field, you know what it takes to lead your team and play with confidence. But that confidence shouldn't just stop at game time. It should follow you off the field, too. Join over 500 NFL players who trust Invisalign, the #1 doctor-recommended clear aligner brand. Do it for confidence on and off the field. Do it for you. Ready to take the first step towards a smile you'll love? Don't wait. Visit Invisalign.com/NFL and find a doctor near you today. Transform your smile and take your confidence to the next level, both on the field and off.
How do you tell the world about all the great gifts in the Yeti store? Let her rip, Troy.
All right, folks, let's get started with the Yeti French Press. Enjoy coffee that stays hot for hours in a French press. 34 ounce for you, 6'4" for the crews. The Yeti French Press. Up next, waterproof bags. Bags waterproof. Submersible waterproof doubles. Waterproof bags. World's mostly water, so get a waterproof Yeti bag. Do I smell something cooking? Oh, new cast iron skillets made to be passed down like mama's recipes. Take a steak, cornbread, cobbers, pot pie, and potatoes next oval with 3 sizes of Yeti cast iron skillets.
Gear, gifts, and product experts. Visit the Yeti store on McKinney Street and at South Lake Town Square today.
Cowboys fans, when it comes to navigating the ever-changing world of tax, your business needs a partner it can trust to tackle even your biggest tax challenges. Ryan is the largest firm in the world dedicated exclusively to business taxes. Our team of tax professionals has local expertise in all areas of tax and can help you uncover savings opportunities you didn't know you had. Learn more about how Ryan can improve your overall corporate tax performance by visiting Ryan.com. Ryan, the official tax partner of the Dallas Cowboys.
Well, for the first time ever, Lone Star Smokeout is coming to Arlington. Watch headliners John Party, Cody Jinks, Midland, and more at this 3-day outdoor country music festival. Plus, enjoy barbecue from some of the best pitmasters in the country. Get your tickets today at SeatGeek.com, the official ticketing partner of AT&T Stadium. Nicole, do you know who any of these people are?
No, one more time. Sorry.
John Party, Cody Jinks, and Midland. Do you know any of them?
I don't know any of those people. Do you know them?
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
Are they like artists or something?
Yeah.
Is Midland a person or a band?
They're a band. It's very yeehaw.
I think I played a song with the band that I was with them, but that's all I got.
All right. Well,
Anyways,
ladies, we're on our last segment.
All right.
Want to have some fun?
Let's have so much fun.
I love fun.
Why are you looking at me like you stressed, Aisha? Why are you looking?
I feel like you and her have different definitions of fun.
Yeah,
sometimes.
because
Very true.
Thinking,
Because your fun can be a little traumatizing for us, depending on what it is.
thinking be making me stressed out.
Well, you got to think for this one. All right.
All right.
It's going to be called Wild Card Free Agent. Just hear me out. All right, you're going to choose a player who's somewhat of a bit of a stretch in terms of like they've had a down year this past season or they've had injury concerns, but they could possibly hit their potential if they sign with the Cowboys and could be a game changer.
Oh, you already know who I'm going to say.
Where are you going?
Cooper Kupp. You already know. It's obvious. It's the obvious choice here.
Very, very obvious. Yeah,
It's the obvious choice, but it's a good choice.
yeah.
And let's talk about why. I took some notes here. All right. I did read earlier per multiple articles and reporters, that the Rams are open to keeping him. So that's also why it's a little reach here, because that could be a possibility. However, he can work out of the slot to get open over the middle receiver. Who's the only other guy that was doing that this season other than Jake, CD? Anybody? That's right. Exactly. You need that.
It's a silence.
Correct. That was the correct answer. There is an injury history like you're talking about. However, I think this would work in Cooper Kupp's favor to have such a young receiving room, because you have a rotation of guys very much similar to how I think they wanted to use Brandon Cooks but never did. So he's not getting the full-on reps every single time, which in turn would create a longevity for how much he's able to play if he were to come somewhere here with a younger room. Only thing is, the money would talk. And I think that's when other contract restructures would have to come into play. He would do a $12.5 million salary base cap hit with a $7.5 million roster bonus that any team that acquires him would have to pick up. So if you do the math with what the Cowboys have available after the CD restructure, these deals, math ain't mathin'. However, there's other contracts, bigger contracts, Trayvon, Dak, you could restructure to make it happen. It's a stretch, but I do think he'd be a really good fit here. And you also want that veteran presence if they don't retain Brandon Cooks. I just think that's always a good idea, especially for a receiver. Yeah, that's my pitch.
Okay,
Go for it.
go ahead.
Me? Just piggyback off what you said. I like the Cooper Kupp because I feel like it's a someone
from the cup.
that's not gonna overpower CD, because I've seen like Devontae Adams. That was something I saw coming into here, and I was like, that's too big of a personality to match it with CD, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
So I was like, kind of piggyback on what you said. Now money talks. I don't think that was gonna work for that reason. But if I had to pull, now I know, Nicole, you talked about someone who had a down year, if you will. It's more of a person who, again, something similar to what we talked about what the Eagles were able to do, to get that person who was 1.5 million, and it worked out. Poona Ford, a nose tackle from the Chargers. That's who I wrote down. I think what he's able to do, not only plug in for up front in the trenches, but I've seen him being able to do the double team. We've talked about that a lot, who can actually do that. I think he comes in and he's an impact player. He's 29 years old. I could see him signing a 2-year deal. When I looked up what he would get, mind you, he just signed a 1-year prove-it year for 1.5. The Chargers obviously want to keep him, but they're in the same situation as the Cowboys, where they're looking at 26-plus free agents that they're working around who are bigger names than Poona Ford. And would be hitting about just under $7 million, which I think is doable, especially when you just restructured CD and that opened up $20 million in cap space. You haven't even touched Dak. And there's other things you can do. I don't think, if you're not hitting double digits, I think it's something that you're trying to bring in, especially if you're really trying to be serious up front. And when you're talking about the type of division, when, again, the Commanders are adding, the Eagles are adding, and 29 years old, that's when you want to get him.
Yeah. No, I'm glad that you went defensive tackle. Come on, girl. Come on. I ain't gonna be too greedy. I got a couple, but I'm gonna say Jaron Reed, the interior defensive tackle for the Seahawks. He had an injury week 18. He was not able to start. That with a knee injury. He started every game last year, but got banged up towards the end. Not sure if the Seattle Seahawks feel the need to retain him, because they did go out in the draft and get some, guys then. And also too, I think Kazir White, linebacker out of Arizona Cardinals. Arizona Cardinals weren't that good last year. So he had a down year. This is a guy that has a lot of range and plays with some ferocity. I mean, no one's going to replace a DeMarvion Overshown, but I will say that the Cowboys linebacker is another position that has been riddled with injuries. We don't know if they are going to bring back an Eric Kendricks. If they don't, then they are probably going to be in the business of looking for a veteran linebacker. This is a gentleman that I think would be not only be affordable, but would also make your team better as well. So, or Nick Bolton, if that's really what you want to do. Now, Dre Greenlaw interests me, but is he too, I thought he came back real quick.
Oh.
And then obviously he re-injured himself again.
Yeah.
But Dre Greenlaw is someone that I think, despite his injuries, people are going to take a look at him. People are going to take a look at him. Maybe the Cowboys do. But I would be addressing the defensive side. Sounds like you want to go offense, which I'm totally down with it as well.
I was going to go offense, too.
What you got? Who you got?
I was going to go receiver, and I was going to talk about D-Hop only because
we knew that.
No, you need a veteran receiver in here and someone to play with CeeDee Lamb on the opposite side. And you look at, obviously, you could claim his 2024 season as a down year just because postseason. Why? And he had 610 yards, receiving yards, 5 touchdowns, 3 catches, 29 yards in the postseason alone. So I would say that's a down year for him, considering he's had 7,000-yard seasons, of course, 3 first-team All-Pro selections, 5-time Pro Bowler, but he's now, 32 years old, I believe, am I not mistaken? So it won't be, as I'll say, it won't say it's going to be cheap, but it's certainly, if you want someone to come in here and be an impact player, you want a guy like D-Hop for sure.
Yeah, and I think he's still Kansas City's offense and the way that they were running, some of the stuff they had going on, especially from the offensive line perspective. Patrick was running for his life. And so for me, I do think, I agree, I think he still has something in the tank. So I would be open to that too. This free agency class in general has some good players. Absolutely. So that's why it's like we can go every position and be like, we could. Cowboys do have an opportunity to really get some good players in this free agency, and again go into the draft being like, okay, now we can put the sprinkles on top.
But it'd be great to sign Micah first, so you have the money to play around with, because otherwise you're just window shopping.
Which is odd too, because
the market is set. You want Mike on the team. I'm not really sure.
That's just how it be. That's just how it be around here.
That's just how it be. It is what it is.
My bad, keep going.
It is.
No. I'm legitimately looking forward to free agency.
Yeah.
I mean, we're already in it.
That's a fact. That's what I'm saying.
We're already in it. I mean, signing back C.J. Goodwin, signing Osa, the restructuring CD, things like that. We're already in it right now. And so they're trying to take care of the guys here, and then we'll be able to move forward. So
it's going to be fun.
Come on, team building. I think it will.
I think it's going to be fun.
I think it will. I think it will.
I'm not trying to be pessimistic. I'm really not. I just think you should enjoy this feeling today.
Well, what I will say is one thing that gives me excitement is that I think some of the gentlemen that they brought in from a coaching perspective, the new OC, Clayton Adams, I watched the Cardinals. I saw the rosters. I saw the offensive lines. And he got good production out of not stars, not a bunch of stars, not a bunch of fancy schmancy people. This is also too we want to attack free agency and do things like that, but I do think that this coaching staff has a plan for what they want to do, and that's going to help them be able to look for what they need. Last year, I felt like we were like this, like they Mr. Krabs me.
Yeah, that's crazy work. It seems like they all align with what they want to do as well. Like there's a
clear-cut plan. There's a clear-cut plan, and we didn't have that last year. We did not have that.
Because you also didn't sign Dak Prescott until 3 hours before kickoff of your opening game. That's why. That's why you didn't have that. So for me, when you have another big contract lingering like that for a star player again, you cannot wait until that point to do that again, or you're going to have a repeat of a really good free agency class that you don't get to shop from. You just get to sit back, watch them all go to your same division probably, because the Eagles and the Commanders, they're not just going to window shop. They're going to say, take my card, spend it right now. Cash. They're not playing around with that. So for me, unless Micah gets signed quickly, it's just hopeful thinking and hopeful wishing. And that's just the reality of it. And hopefully that's not what it becomes. But until you have the money and the space freed up, you can't do much.
Before we go, what would if y'all had to describe how the Cowboys are moving so far in free agency in this offseason, but you have to describe it as, compare it to a type of food. Yes.
Okay.
Compare the way the Cowboys are moving this free agency to the type of food. What would it be?
Ooh, I got one.
It could be a meal.
Okay.
I'm looking at you.
I got one.
I was thinking, okay, I got one.
Go ahead.
It's like hibachi.
Hibachi?
You gotta wait till they will out that thing. You gotta trust the process.
I'm crying.
The fire might scare you, but you might be a little entertained. Like,
good one.
Listen, it's
That's a good one.
It's courses. You get the
That's a good one.
soup, you get the salad, you get the whole thing.
I'm dead with the hibachi.
And you might be full by the time you get there. I hope they not.
I got mine.
What?
I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go a soul food meal.
All right.
I say that because, like, and I mean like the fried pork chops, mac and cheese, yams, all that. And I'm gonna say that because, like, it tastes good right now, right? But like, you know how like when you eat like heavy food, it's like, dang, bro. Until proven otherwise. As of right now, it feels great. It feels good. However, I don't want that feeling.
Yeah.
Like that. Dang,
Too much.
Like,
Yeah.
it was too much to do. You know what I'm saying?
The meat.
And I get what you're saying. I get
Get
what
what I'm
you're
putting
saying.
down?
Yeah.
All right, bad.
You don't want it to be too high.
Yeah, like, I don't want it to. I don't want
This
to
is,
like regret the food that I ate. If that makes sense.
That's deep.
Because like last year,
That's deep.
I feel
Getting
like
philosophical
with
in
waiting
here.
so long until dang near training camp of bringing other guys in there, like it was kind of like a feeling like, oh crap, like
Yeah.
I don't like this
And
feeling.
you can't rush good food.
Yeah, that part.
That's also true.
Yeah, I know, y'all. I
That was
hate it when that
good.
happens. It happened to me yesterday.
What do you got?
I think I gotta bring out the air fryer we talked about earlier. So I got my air fryer and I got my pizza. And the Cowboys are pizza because listen, that is the one food in my opinion you can reheat.
And it's
we
good.
reheating a little bit of what we got. Okay, Shotty's a reheat, but it can still be good, and I still might
In
eat
that
it.
air fryer.
Good.
With my air fryer.
Okay,
All
that was
right.
good.
That's
Thank
good.
you.
That was good right there.
But you have to use the air fryer.
That's my coaching staff.
Yep.
Shotty's my pizza.
All right.
Reheat.
All right.
I'm gonna go chips and salsa because you gotta like pace yourself when it comes to chips and salsa, right? So like if you order them at the beginning of the meal, you're just going and going and going with your chips and salsa. So right now they're going, but they gotta pace themselves. Otherwise, aka sign Micah Parsons, if they don't, they're not going to eat their meal.
They're not
going to eat their meal because they ate too much chips and salsa.
Yeah.
Being from New Mexico, I know how that be. Like,
Right.
I get it.
You
So,
have to get it to go box.
To go box.
but then it doesn't taste as good the next day.
Exactly.
So no.
All right. This has been fun.
I'm tired of you. Nicole.
Brian Morrison, Jess Navarez, Brianna Aldridge. I'm Nicole Hutchison. We'll be back here next week.
Pass rush, we do got a chance.
Wow.
This has been a production of DallasCowboys.com and the Dallas Cowboys Football Club.
How about this, Cowboys?